Hey guys, it's Athena. Welcome back to my channel. So for today I wanted to do an old-fashioned get ready with me, like how I kind of always do. I haven't filmed one in a little while, so I thought that it would be nice to do one. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was thinking my nose. Yes. Yeah, and just kind of have some chats and talks along the way. So yeah, I was kind of inspired. It's a little Dolly Parton-esque, but also like Celia Foote from The Help. So I kind of felt like inspired by that, and I'll do my makeup kind of with a flair of that as well. So yeah, I actually just got this top yesterday. I really like it. It's kind of like a maiden type top, and then it has this sort of like corset, like cinching um, thing, like right here, like that. So I thought that was really cute, and I really liked that. So yeah. These like maiden tops are like really coming in fashion right now at certain places that have like kind of like trendy clothes. So it's a trend that's coming up, and I really like that. I think they're really sweet. I like when they kind of like have the poofy sleeves, and then kind of like if you think of like like a milkmaid or like peasant girl or like you know like just that type of like Renaissance kind of era clothing. I really like that. So let's see. I got a new foundation, and it's one of my oldies but a goodie. Um, it is before I used the cream stick foundation, I was using the Infallible Pro Glow by L'Oreal. And this is the shade 202 Creamy Natural. I believe this is the shade that I typically get, so that's why I picked this one. And I ran out of my stick foundation, so I was kind of over it. I had used 2 full sticks of like cream foundation, and I just kind of was ready to try something else, try something new. I just kind of got tired of using that same like cream for everything. So yeah. And life has been crazy as always. School is going good. The winter semester is really good so far. I really like my teacher. She's really excellent at making history like exciting and interesting and really sort of immersive. So I really like that about her. And she's a really young professor, so that really helps a lot. So I'm just going in with that all over. And yeah, so I have the classes in the morning, and then I basically have the rest of the day to like do the homework or reading and that we get in the class. And it's really not that much, so it's been nice because I thought by taking a winter class I wasn't going to get a break, but it ended up being that it was a really good idea to take the winter class, because I feel like have um, if I don't have that, I kind of don't have anything to do, and I feel like not as good about like the day and stuff. But I like being able to wake up and start the day and get a pep start to my day, and come home from that, and then have like the rest of the day to decide what to do, which isn't typically very exciting, but that was kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk about in my video. Just feelings of like depression and struggling with that can be really hard, and it can be a battle that um, comes in and out and always sort of can be there, and people would never know um, unless you told them, because I mean, I don't think anyone would notice unless they knew me as a person. Like, you never really know what anyone's going through. Looks are very deceiving, especially on social media and even YouTube as a platform. Like, you kind of brand yourself to be one way when in reality, you're many things. And I'm not just a bright, bubbly person all the time. Unfortunately, I like being that way, but I am pretty solemn, I guess. I mean, I'm not like a downer kind of person, but I just feel like the weight of like life situations a lot, and that makes it hard. Um, but yeah, I've been listening to the Lana Del Rey song. What's it called? How I think it's called How to Disappear, and it's really really good. I really like it, and it's pretty sad. It just talks about like people coming and going in life, and that everyone like comes in and out of your life, and you want to be able to be in a place in life where you can find people that will stay like with you, beside you, support you, that type of thing. Um, which her examples and kind of like where her lyrics were coming from is a bit of like a mature place, but compared to like I don't know if it like I can necessarily relate to it in terms of anyone besides like friends or loved ones or boyfriends, but you know yeah, it's a really good song though, and I loved the lyric. um, I cried on his shoulder because life is hard. I was like, oh my god, that is so like I was like that is right on the target. It's hard too because I feel like some days I wake up and I'm able to take on the day a lot better than other days, and then other days, no matter what I do, I kind of just stay at this like one place, and like no matter what, it doesn't ever get better, in terms of how I feel. So like I mean, my lifestyle, especially on winter break right now, is very much just go to class, come home, go to bed, stay in bed, of course, do like, the fundamental stuff and chores, but that's really it. And then if I feel motivated and if it's not too cold, then I'll go for a run and go exercise, um, down and walk towards the beach, and um, do that. And that's where I like listen to my music and podcasts and stuff the most, um, is when I'm exercising or when I'm walking from campus to school, or from uh, school to home, so that type of situation. And if I don't have school, my day doesn't really start until like now, like at 2:05. Like I'd say I wake up around like, if I don't have school, I wake up at like 12:50. I get out of bed and then like just kind of get breakfast, get coffee, do a couple things, and then the day doesn't really go anywhere, and like there's nowhere to really go or like do things. And that's how it is sometimes, like in different stages of your life. Like you know it's it comes and it goes, and it changes and transitions with time. But for this moment in time, it's just kind of like I'm kind of just in my own little bubble. So it can be hard even when you go into like social situations. It was funny because I never have been one to openly be like, yeah, I have anxiety like when I go out and like am with like people and stuff and like crowds of people. But I definitely felt like I was having a panic attack when I went outside of the house, to go to the store. Actually, I it's like I can't think straight, and like um, all that's there's just this this like I'm just so nervous that like something's wrong. I'm doing something wrong or whatever, like whatever it is, I just always feel that. And it like, it hinders me from even being able to like, I try and like just act normal and like blend in as much as possible, but I'm like just so worried about it all the time, and it makes it really hard. Like, and like, if it's interesting because if I am have been out for a while, or it's like a day that I went to school, I'm fine and it's a lot better because I've had that exposure. But that day I hadn't left the house until then. So it was the first time I was going out for the day, and it was my first interaction with people. And I had taken an Uber there. So I felt really like put on the spot. And I just, especially when you're alone, like I kind of don't know how to like act in public when I'm by myself. Like I kind of just get freaked out by that, like a lot. Um, I don't know why, but like I can't just like calmly like peruse around the store. Like I feel like I have to like get what I need and then get out, and like I can't just like relax and like feel like I'm like, how am I gonna get home? Is the Uber gonna work? All this other stuff, and like I can't just like let myself enjoy the experience of being out, which isn't fun because you're going out to sort of distract yourself and have something a little bit different than normal. But yeah, it's interesting. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, also, I don't know. I wanted to talk a little bit about like self-love and self-care and stuff, especially during like a time of depression or anything. Like it can be really hard to look out for yourself and really take care of yourself if you're in a place where you feel really bad. It's kind of like you're just worried about getting through the day, not necessarily like being this like really put together person, and it's definitely a lot of like maintenance. It feels like to take care of yourself. And I mean, I don't like that. I feel like a very motivated person, but I don't always feel like my mind and body allow for it to really be that way. And like, of course, yes, I do just make myself do things, but I mean, it still feels, it just feels very forced. And I wish that it wasn't. I wish that I wasn't like trying to force it to happen. But yeah, all of that, like, it's really important to take care of yourself and like look out for yourself. When it comes to food, when it comes to hygiene, when it comes to exercise, and just everything in life, like really rooting for yourself and being like your best advocate, taking your vitamins and medicine, and like you can feel so so not inspired by that, and like you feel like your mind is somewhere else and it's not worrying about that kind of stuff. You're in like kind of a fog, in a different place. And that's why I really like a lot of the darker things that I like, such as like Silent Hill, or sort of like the more macabre, dark things. I just feel like I really resonate with the feelings of those things, and like I can understand where it's coming from, and it makes sense to me, So that's kind of why I'm also like drawn to those types of things for sure. Okay, so that's done, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of moisturizer on my lips. I have like a little cracked part on my lip right here, and so I'm just trying to like take care of it as best as possible. And also another topic feelings of like insecurity and things like that can be really difficult to navigate through as well. And some days I'm able to like really take control and tell myself like, everything is good, you're fine, don't worry. But then other days it's kind of like looking in the mirror is like the worst thing. Like your enemies, you know, got you. You're your own worst enemy. And that can be really scary. So I'm just going to do my blush like that. Because, in a harsh world and when really harsh things have happened to you, I think that you sort of almost get trained into a negative way of thinking, and don't you don't go to just like your happiest place when you're talking inside of yourself or to yourself or even about yourself. You don't go to like your happiest place. You can be like kind of hard on yourself. At least in my case, I can be for sure. Hi, Monday. So that's really a struggle, and even just like physically, it can be really hard to like look in the mirror and accept who you are. It's a struggle that I definitely go through. And I watch a lot of like different people who are all about like, positivity and self-acceptance, radical self-acceptance, that type of stuff. And I think that's really important, having exposure to people who aren't afraid of like themselves and that care and love about themselves is like really important, I think, especially for insecure people. Like, I don't know, I just always feel so foreign and so alien to everything. And like I know that there are others that feel that way, but like living that way really is really hard because you never feel like you can relax and just like let go. And I can if I've been in a social situation or like I've had to get up and like go to class. Like I feel I get a little bit better, but that's not always the case. And the days where you're not in that type of situation and then you have to be like out and in the open or you want to go do something, like it can be really really rough to get yourself to just like relax. You're like, you feel just super like your heart's just like ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. Hi, Monet. And I don't know, I just feel like I'm holding on to these like reins in life, and like I just am like holding on to them so hard and like gripping them, and like I want to just be able to like let go and like take a deep breath and let it out for sure. Let's see, so now there was this video I just watched. I think it was from MTV, and it was this like little interview with this girl. She was around my age, and the title of the video was I live my life trying to look like a Snapchat filter or something like that. And I was like, what the heck? I thought it was going to be some girl who was like, I don't know, obsessed with looking like a filter, and I didn't really get it at first. And then the video was actually like really deep, and what the girl was like coming from, like her point of being and feeling like, she's like, I like the version of me that is me when I'm edited, when it's me at my best, and when I'm in control, basically. And, the filters, like, help me look, more beautiful on the outside. And she was saying, struggling with not having European features and wanting to be, to feel beautiful and everything, that was a struggle for her. And she was a really beautiful girl. And I got it. Like, I got exactly what she was saying. I understood it, and I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Because I often hear people say, like, be your own kind of beautiful, but something that's really difficult with that is that that means that you're not the type of beautiful that you want to be. Maybe, like, I think it's a struggle to be your own beautiful, because the issue is that you don't want to be you, you want to be like them or like characteristics of others. So that makes it really hard when people are like, oh, everyone, just be you. You're beautiful in your own way. It's almost kind of like, I mean, as somebody told me, like, if they specifically said you're beautiful in your own way, and it was in the context of like appearance, like that would be kind of a backhanded kind of thing to me, and I wouldn't like that. But really being able to be comfortable in your own skin and like really love yourself and appreciate yourself for your own unique beauty is something that I really struggle with and would love to be able to conquer and get better at in my life. But it can be really hard, like really, really hard. And a lot of times people that think that way don't think that way towards others. Like, I don't hold others to the criteria that I hold myself to. I wouldn't expect anybody to, jump through the hoops that I've like put in front of myself aside from myself. So next I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Runway Ready Lip Palette. And this is amazing, you guys. I got this for $6 at Target. It was on clearance, and it has every shade you would need if you use like a lot of neutral tones. I think it's such a brilliant color, like, palette to choose from. My favorites are the bubblegum pink, the really light one, this one, and that one. And even, it's everything except for the red. I haven't used that. I don't really wear red lipstick. But I just don't think it's very complimenting on me. And I haven't used a little lip wand, but I'm going to do that. And I think I'm going to go in with the bubblegum pink color. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of the brushes. I kind of like to just take my finger and dab it. And, it can be really like, I feel like the battle is so much more than what it seems. It's really, it's not even just skin deep, like struggling with, who you are and what that means to you, and how can you be the person you want to be, and like even on a not physical level, just on a human being level, loving yourself on all levels and in all forms is something that is really hard for me. Like, I think that I'm a cool person. Like, I think that I have a great sense of humor. I mean, of course, because it's me, but like, I like the things that I like, and I think my humor is thoughtful and intellectual and really hysterically funny, even though it's probably not. And I like everything that I like about myself. I think that my style and my aesthetic it's really pleasing to me. But, is it, is it, I don't know. It's just a hard kind of argument to decipher. Like, does it matter if you're not your like naturalist self? Like, is it bad that you sort of customize your appearance and edit it and make it your way? On one hand, I'm all for like self-expression and freedom, but then on the other hand, I feel like there's almost a like not being okay with the natural self. And that's sort of like, I think if you're okay with the natural self and then you do what you want to do, I think that that's the ultimate goal. Because just because I wouldn't want to be completely natural and miserable. I would want to have customized myself basically to like feel more comfortable. So it's just an interesting kind of thing to like decipher and look at and like really figure out how you can decide for yourself what everything means. But yeah, I mean, I don't like my nose at all. I don't like my face, like, in general. My profile is fine, I think, on this side. This is my left. I don't like my right side. That's why I always have the camera on this side if I'm doing my get ready with me's. Yeah, and I just feel like it's not, it's just not. And isn't that so fun to listen to someone complain about themselves? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I just, I try and be transparent just so you guys know it's like I'm real, and I don't think I'm like better or anything. Now I'm just going in with mascara. Something I was saying earlier, that Celia Foote from The Help, being like a little bit inspired by her, kind of like, her personality is like just so loving and so kind, and she's one of the very few in that movie that isn't racist towards anyone, and that is loving and is happy and treats each person as an equal. And that's what like, she was a beautiful girl, but then she was also beautiful on the inside, and that was just like, whoa. So I really liked that, and she had her own struggles, and she had a very humble kind of like beginning, and that type of thing. So like, I really liked that about her. Like, she had her own, she was kind of treated as an outcast by everyone else. I think that she was able to relate to people, and she didn't want anyone else to feel that way, which I definitely could relate to. But yeah, I think, let's see, I don't know, I like the pink lipstick, I do. I kind of just want to zhuzh it up a little bit. Let's see if maybe we can bring you guys closer. The lighting isn't that great today, I'm sorry. Okay, so just like that, and yeah. Okay, well, that is this look for today, and let me like smile for the thumbnail. Let's see. Oh my. Oh my goodness, I'm totally gonna leave that in the video.